Hello everyone, my name is Amanda Waldhart and you are here with Amanda's InspirationStation.com. Today for our weekly Wednesday, I have two great things that I'm going to share with you today. I am going to share with you today this adorable box, and inside this box fits a Hostess cupcake, and not just any Hostess cupcake. I'm going to share. This is a limited edition s'mores cupcake. I love s'mores. S'mores anything is like one of my favorite desserts, one of my favorite treats. Of course, I had to try one. And thank goodness I've only had one because they are really, really, really good. So I'm just going to leave that for you. I found them at my local grocery store, which was Woodman's. I'm sure Walmart probably has them. You can maybe even check on Amazon. So this is a s'more cupcake to fit into this adorable little box. Now this box, the stamp set that we're using is Campology. I was so glad that this stamp set was actually carried over into the new catalog because I really love it and I wanted to continue to use it. And I hadn't really shown anything. And I was like, when I saw those s'mores, I was like, this is perfect. And then the other thing I'm going to show you today with this stamp set is this card. And it just says happy trails. And we're going to be doing some sponging. We're going to be doing some of our, using our blending brush, which I love these. So we're going to be doing some of that, some stamping, and we're going to be doing some blends. So I have this card and this adorable treat box. But before we get started with that, I'm going to go over some of the things that we're going to use. But even before that, I am going to go over a few Stampin' Up! Things that are going on right now. So today is May 12th, and we are about halfway into May. Our annual catalog went live last Tuesday on May 4th. This is the 2021-2022 annual catalog. It is fabulous. I absolutely love it. This is the catalog. If you are not a current customer of mine and you do not have a current demonstrator, I would love to be your demonstrator. And I will mail this out to you completely free with a $20 purchase. But it is a great catalog. There's a lot of things. Yesterday, my dad actually had hip surgery yesterday, so I sat up at the hospital with my mom, and or no, that was Monday, and then yesterday I was up there and bringing him home. But when I sat up there, I was going through this catalog and already planning my weekly Wednesday projects, my class projects. This is a great catalog. If you do not have your hands on this catalog, you need to get one. So message me. You can message me right at Amanda'sInspirationStation.com. Okay. Now, starting May 4th, which was last Tuesday, not only did the catalog go live, but also we have an additional $25 stamping rewards with any order of $250 or more. So that's an extra $25. That's awesome. And that will run through June 14th. So May 4th through June 14th. If you spend $250 or more, you automatically get an additional $25 in your Hostess rewards. Now, you don't have to do that by yourself. Maybe you and your friend or you and your family member, you all have some orders. Collectively put them together and place one order. That way you guys can take advantage of that. Or you can always host a workshop too. I do still do workshops. I know there are a lot of demonstrators that still do, and I'm obviously it would be more local, but I could always do one where you could do the workshop if you live further away, and I could still cut and design some cards for you to make at your workshop and send them to you if you would like to still be a hostess for that. Again, just reach out to me and we can go over all kinds of fun stuff. So there's that. The other thing that we have going on that also began on May 4th and runs through May 31st is we have an awesome deal with our starter kit. I always thought our starter kit was an awesome deal before. Before, you got to pick out $126 worth of whatever product you wanted. You only paid the $99 in US dollars, plus shipping, or plus tax, sorry. Shipping would be free. And shipping on something like this is generally, I mean, it's 10%. It's a lot. But I am a US demonstrator, so it would be $99 plus tax. Only right now, they're not giving you $125 worth of product for free. They're giving, or not free, for the starter kit, sorry. They are giving you $155. So you get to pick out $155 for $99. Okay, that's $56 free. You only pay tax. The shipping is free, and that shipping value is $15.50. So you're talking about a $71.50 value for purchasing the starter kit. I think the starter kit is awesome. You get to pick out whatever you want. It's a fabulous deal. Plus, then after that, you get to pick out whatever you want and always get a discount of 20% and more, depending on where you want to take it. So if you have any questions or you would love to join the Crafty Cats, I would love for you to join the Crafty Cats. I know the rest of the Crafty Cats would love for you to join us. Again, you can message me at amandasinspirationstation.com. And one last thing, yesterday we got a sneak peek of our new upcoming paper pumpkin kit. If you are interested in this particular one, you have now until June 10th to sign up for it. And June 11th will begin the processing of the orders. But I wanted to share with you this because it's expressions in colors. And I want to share in the annual catalog. Give me a second. I probably should have had that page. You know, sometimes I think I'm prepared, but then I end up not being prepared. Okay, so on page 96 and 97, we have a suite called Expressions in Ink. It is gorgeous. This designer series paper for me alone is just mind-blowing. It's so gorgeous. Well, this kind of coordinates. So the Stampin' Up! Paper Pumpkin Kit is kind of coordinating with this. This kit will contain enough supplies to create 9 cards and coordinating envelopes. It includes an exclusive stamp set, and this time you get 2 ink spots. Normally you only get 1, so this time you get 2. It features our colors from our 2020 to 2022 and 2021 to 2023 ink colors. That's fabulous. That means that's an array of gorgeous colors right there for you. And it coordinates with this suite, like I said, and it comes in cute, colorful, and a collectible box. I love these boxes because you can actually put 2 stacks of cards in these boxes, and they make an adorable gift to give someone. Okay, so that is that, and I will have the link below. If you're watching me on YouTube, I will have the link below for signing up for Paper Pumpkin, joining and purchasing the Crafty Cats and purchasing the Stampin' Up! Starter Kit, or if you are just wanting to purchase and collect the $25 Hostess rewards. Again, that's all going to be on Amanda's Inspiration Station. Okay, one more thing and then we'll get started. If you are watching me at all, thank you. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And if you're watching me on YouTube, I would love for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I do post every Wednesday. We do a weekly Wednesday where I pick something, either a bundle or a stamp set, and we always do 2 projects with it. And then I also periodically do other videos as well. So thank you so much for taking the time. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Let's start with the box first. I love this box. It's absolutely adorable. Let's get started with it. So you're going to need your Simply Score tool. Okay, so I'm going to kind of cover this up here. And we got some pieces here. Now, for the sake of the video, I've already done some things. Your piece right here, oh, and you know what? I'm going to give you the measurements of this right now. If you miss a measurement, don't worry. I always type up a project sheet for my weekly Wednesdays, and the project sheet will have colored copy pictures of these. It'll have all the measurements, and it'll have all the supplies you need. That is free. It's free to print, and it's right on my blog at Amanda's Inspiration Station. So if you miss a measurement while I'm going through this, don't worry. You can print the project sheet. All right, so you need your cardstock to be 8.5 by 10 and 11/16, okay? And we're going to turn it, I've already cut it to that. We're going to turn it to the landscape side or the long side. Some people say it differently. And we're going to score, and we're going to score it at 3/4. And I'm not going to go super fast because whenever I go super fast, I jump the tracks, and I don't want to do that. So 3/4. Now we're going to come over here to 3 3/4. We're going to score it there. Then we're going to come over to 5 3/4. We're going to score it there. And then we're going to come over to 8 3/4. And we're going to score it there. All right. Now we're going to turn it because we want the short side. And we're going to do something a little different here. So we're going to do it at 3/4. I'm going to go ahead and do it at 3/4 again. And then we're going to do it at 2 3/4. Okay. But now we're going to flip it again. So now we have it on the long side. We don't want it on the long side. We want it on the short side again. So we're going to flip it just to the other side. So we were working on this side. Now we want to work, we want to do this side. We're going to do the same measurements that we did on this side. So if I flip this back over, remember we did it at 3 3/4 and we did it at 2 3/4. We're going to do those same two measurements. We're just flipping it over to this side. So we're going to do 3 3/4 and 2 3/4. Okay, that is our box. Now we're going to get out our bone folder because we want to varnish in the creases here, and there's quite a lot of them. Oops, that one's got a varnishing little crease there. And give me just a second because I have to find something that I was grabbing. I want to make sure that I'm cutting the right squares off. I do not want to not cut off the wrong squares. And then we're going to go to this side and we're going to do the same thing on here. And we'll do the same thing on here. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to cut some things off here. And I know this is going to be confusing, but what we're going to do is we're going to first start out with down at the bottom. I'm going to make this the top. So see how we have the thinner line up here, and then we have the thinner line on this side and the thinner line on this side, but the bottom is thicker. We want the thinner line at the top because this piece right here is actually our little flip here. That's this piece, okay? So we are going to want to have that at the top. So right now, this bottom, we are going to get rid of this rectangle here. Okay. And also, I will have a picture of one of these with everything cut on the project sheet. So you'll have this picture once it's all cut and done to look at as well. Okay. Now we're going to leave this flap, but we want to remove this flap. And we're actually going to remove it all the way. Well, actually, you know what? I think what would be easier to explain it is let's just cut this flap so that we have this like this, okay? We're also going to now we're going to flip the top part down to the bottom. And I'm going to go all the way down on this line here. I want to go all the way up. So we're cutting through the first line. We're going up to the second line. Now we're going to cut this off. We do not need this whole section here. And we will not need this tab here. So we're also going to cut this tab up to that line that I cut, okay? So we're going to do that. And then we're going to do that. Again, we're going to cut this little line off up to that tab where I cut. And these pieces you can, use for scrap, do whatever you need to do. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cut on the bottom. We need to make our little flaps here. We're going to cut that. We're going to cut one down here from the top. Okay. Because what we're going to do is we're going to bring in these two tabs here like this, and these are going to come up like this, okay? And then this is going to come up, and then this is going to come up. And see how that kind of worked out like that? So we need to bring these two in and bring these two in, all right? So I'm going to get out my green glue because we're going to bring these in. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of, I'm going to flip these two down, and I'm just going to kind of go in a circle here. Now, I definitely recommend using the green glue, and the reason why I recommend, so I'm going to pinch it like that, and then I'm just going to bring this up to the top. I recommend using the green glue because it gives a couple minutes, a couple seconds, not really minutes, sorry, where if it sticks or it's a little crooked, you have those seconds to change it. You have those seconds to change it. So I'm just going to take my bone folder in here, and I'm just going to kind of go like this. All right. Now I want to do the same thing on here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put some green glue here. I'm going to do some green glue here. And I'm going to put these two together like this, okay? And I'm going to just kind of hold it. And then I'm going to bring this up like this. And I'm going to tip it kind of down like this just so that I can get my fingers in there, press on it, like that, all right? There we go. Now, I do want to share with you that I am going to, on the sides here, on these little tabs, I'm kind of going to arrow them in a little bit. And the reason why I do that is because it helps it to close. So I'll do one side so you can see. See how now this completely closes, but this gets stuck over here? You want that. Plus, you want this here so that when this comes over to tuck in, it tucks in good. So you definitely want to take your scissors and you want to arrow those in. Okay, so let's get rid of those. There we go. Now for these corners here, I rounded them. I used our detailed trio punch, and I just literally put them in like this, and I round them. I put this in like this, and I round it. Oops. There we go. So now I have this where it's just rounded and it tucks easily in there. Just like that. See, there's our box. All right, well, let's put our cupcake in our box because, we don't want to forget our cupcake. And these make really cute little gifts to anybody. So maybe you know a coworker who's going camping. What a cute little thing to give them. All right, so now we have a few more pieces here. So we have 4 pieces of designer series paper in soft suede. And these measure at 2 3/4 by 1 3/4. You're going to need 4 of them because 4 of them are going to go all the way around the box. Then you're going to need 1 for the top, and this is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. I don't know if you noticed this patterned paper, but with every new catalog, we get paper stacks. They're usually 6 by 6 paper stacks, and they come by color. So we get brights, neutrals, subtles, regals, and colors. These here are the neutrals. There are 4 different designs. I chose the plaid. I liked it. So I'm just going to put my green glue and attach that. And we're going to do the same for all 4 of these. Okay. So we're just going to go like this, get some green glue. You don't need a lot. I had a teacher once always say, and it's always stuck in my head, dot, dot, not a lot. Because, you know, when you're a kid, glue's cool. I mean, let's be honest. As a paper crafter, isn't glue still kind of cool? All right, and we're just going to put these all around. But there's definitely a thing as too much glue. And that's why she used to say dot, dot, not a lot. All right, there's our box. Now we have a couple things. So we have stamping to do. And I'm going to bring this a little closer here so that you can see how adorable this is. So I have some scrap paper here. And I have my circle. Because what we're going to do is we're going to take the trees in the mossy meadow. And for starters, we're going to just ink that up. Sometimes with the larger images, I like to do it this way. All right, so we're going to do that, and we're going to do this as our background. So I kind of want more of the bottom to be on there. So I'm just going to stamp over my circle. Now this circle, and I'm very terrible at this because I designed this before the catalog ended. So I am going to share. This is part of our Stitched Shapes dies. They were retired. So if you have them at home, it is the largest one and it's got the stitch shape. However, if you do not have them, no worries. You would use this one, which would just be the plain circle. It just wouldn't have the stitching around it. And this is part of our layering circles because we are using the largest scallop one, and that is what we use to cut out the mossy meadow. So this is the same size as this one. So if you have the stitch shapes and you want the extra little fun stitching, great. If you don't, then you just use your regular circle, and it's the largest circle one too. I do believe these are currently on back order right now, but I know they're coming back real soon. So okay, so there's that. So now we need to stamp a few things. We need to stamp the lantern, we need to stamp the tent, and we need to stamp the scenes. So I have the scenes already like put how I want them. Why, I don't know. I just did that. So I'm just going to take my memento because we are using memento today. I'm just going to stamp them like that. The reason why we're using memento today is because we're going to be using our blends. And whenever you use your blends, because they are an alcohol-based marker, you will want to use your memento ink pad so that it doesn't, let's go like this. Let's see. So it doesn't blend. Actually, I'm going to go like this. I have some other scrap paper because we still have to do the tint. I'm sorry. So you want to use this because when you're using your blends, they won't bleed. If you use your StazOn with blends, because these are an alcohol-based marker, they will bleed, and you don't want that. So, all right. So now we're going to do the little tent over here too. Okay. Now, there are no dies for this, so we will have to fussy cut them out. Yes, I'm sorry. So what we're going to do is with this here, we're just going to take our scissors and we're going to go like this. We are literally like straight up fussy cutting this out. We're not cutting this with a paper trimmer at all. We are literally just cutting this because we're going to paper pierce them on. Okay, so there are those. And then we can get rid of this. And actually here, we'll move this too, because now we're going to be doing some coloring. All right, so for the tent, we're going to use Bermuda Bay, and we're going to use the light and the dark. For starters, I'm going to just kind of color the whole entire tent in the light. And remember, if you go out of lines a little bit, we're fussy cutting the edges off, so don't worry, no fret. Okay, so there's that. Now I'm going to take the Bermuda Bay Dark, and I'm going to just kind of like where the shading is on the tent, I'm going to kind of color that part in. Okay, like that. Then I'm going to take my Mossy Meadow Light, and I'm just going to kind of color in the grass around it, just to kind of give it that more feel. And then you're probably wondering why I have my color lifter. Okay, so we're going to use my color lifter because I kind of wanted to highlight and make this part a little bit lighter. Now with this, it's not an eraser, it's a lighter. So it just kind of lightens it up. So I'm just going to kind of go in a circle here. And I'm just going to kind of, it's going to kind of lift that color up a little bit. Okay. Now for the lantern, we're going to use the light Mossy Meadow again. And I'm going to color the entire lantern in that. So we're just going to color the whole lantern in the green. All right. It is definitely camping season soon. This is exciting, right? How many of you out there are campers? I have to say, I used to camp a lot. I really don't camp very much. I really don't camp anymore. I don't know why. It was fun. I did it a lot when I was younger, and I don't know. All right. And we're going to do that. And we're going to color that in too. All right, so there's that. Now for the light, we're going to use Dark Daffodil. And I'm just going to kind of color in the light part. And I'm going to take the color lifter one more time, and I'm going to kind of lift up in these areas here. There we go. All right, so there's that. Put my glue away. All right, and now we're going to just fussy cut around this. Probably should grab my paper snips. They're a lot easier to fussy cut than my big scissors here, but I've already started. I'm committed now. I'm definitely committed now. And actually, I cut this part off. I almost forgot. I just cut this part completely off. The handle for this project. And then we're going to go right in there like that. And like that. Okay, so there's that piece. And then the tent, which the tent is pretty easy to fussy cut. That one's not hard. I think fussy cutting is hard. I think what it is, why people hate it so much, is it's because it's tedious. And amen to that. I do agree with it's tedious. Although I also have a lot of ladies who have a hard time getting up that close to see it too. So I can't say it's not hard. So, all right. So now we have all of our pieces. We are going to get our glue dots out here. And we're going to put 2 on the back of that, 1 on the back of the tent. And then we're going to flip those over. This one can get regular size, but this little guy here, he's going to, if you have the minis, great, use the minis. If not, you can always cut one of your regular dimensionals, and you can cut that in half. All right, so we're just going to peel that off, and I'm going to kind of angle that like that. I'm going to put this one over to the top. I'm going to put the tent below, And then we've got this one here, which I'm having a hard time peeling this off. Come on. There we go. And I'm just going to kind of angle that down a little bit. So it says, you brighten my path, enjoy your day. And then I'm going to flip this over because I am going to put this, the white circle, I'm going to pop it up onto the Mossy Meadow scallop. And then I'm going to flip it over and we're going to pop it up on top of our box. Okay. Make sure I got the right end. Oops, see, I didn't. Okay, so there's, make sure your tab's in the front. And then we're literally going to just place that on top. You guys, how stinking cute is that? Look at, how cute is that? And it has a s'more cupcake in it. That is very delicious. I'm just going to share that those are so yummy. All right, so there's the box. So that was fun. That was easy. I'm going to kind of brush my mess over here. All right, so let's get with our card. So with our card, we have a couple pieces here. We have our card base, which is soft suede, and it measures at 5.5 by 8.5. Now, if you wanted to score the center, you would score it at 4 1/4. I usually just kind of go like this. Take my bone folder, which I do use my bone folder even if I score it, and I go like that. Okay, now we're going to have a couple pieces here. We need a piece of basic white for the inside so that if when you're writing, you can see it. And this measures at 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm just going to get out my Stampin' Seal here. And I'm just going to place that like that. Okay, so that's on the inside. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but around the edge here, there is some stamping. What I'm doing is I'm going to take this and I'm going to randomly stamp all over. So I'm going to clean this up because we have memento on it. And I want to get the memento off. There we go. Let's make sure that that's cleaned up pretty good. We're going to use soft suede because soft suede is the cardstock that we're using. And I'm literally going to kind of go like this. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go like this, like this, like this, like this. There. Granted, you're not really going to see a lot of it, but sometimes it's just that little extra that is fun. Now, the next piece that we're going to attach to it is, first of all, we're going to attach the designer series paper, which again, this is part of that new. So I showed you the two sides of this. This is the other pattern. You can either do this one or this one. I chose the little like lines with the dots. So we're going to put this on, and this piece right here measures at 3.5 by 4 3/4. And we're going to put it on our basic white, which our basic white measures at 3 3/4 by 5. Now we are going to pop this up. So we're going to get out, we have our dimensionals. We're going to get our dimensionals there and pop that up. Okay. We're going to center it. I must have just re-inked my ink pad because this one's not as dark. I like it darker. Gives it more oomph. Oomph is what I say. Okay. So now we have that. We're going to set that aside because now we need this piece. And I don't know if you noticed, this is a brand new piece. This die is our Scalloped contour dies. Now this is a bundle. And it's called Color and Contours Bundle. But if you want to get the bundle, that's the best way because you save 10%. But today we're not using the stamp set to that. We're just using the dies. And the die that we're using is the second to largest one. So that's the die that we're using. And this is where it's going to get fun because we're gonna now use our blending brush. and we're going to use Coastal Cabana. So we're just going to open that up. And what I like to do is I like to put my index finger right up here and my hand in here. It just kind of gives me a better control. I just go in circles. And now every time I do this, the first time I put it on, it's darker. I do want the edges to be darker, but then I want it to come in and look a little lighter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. I'm going to always start with the edges and work my way into the center. So we're just going to kind of do the edges and work my way into the center. And if you want to do a little more of the edging to make that a little bit darker, you could. Kind of like how it gives it that look. And that's that. That's pretty simple. That is fun and simple. And to clean these, I usually just get a wet wipe, which I have one right here. And I literally just kind of go in gentle, like a circular motion. And I just clean it. And you'll get to a point where, see, there's nothing even on there anymore. And then that's it. Will it still look like it has ink on it? Yes, because these were white bristles. So it's going to look like that. All right. So now we have that. We're going to stamp the green trees again. So we're going to get those out. We're going to ink that up in our Mossy Meadow. And we're going to stamp. Voila. Cute. All right. Now what we're going to do is we have another piece of basic white cardstock because we need to do the, we're going to do the exact same thing that we did before with the tent. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And this time we need to have the little saying that says happy trails. So we're going to, there we go. We're going to do that. All right, so while that sits for just a second, we're going to go over to the moon here, or the sun, sorry. What I did is I took a piece of Bumblebee cardstock, and I actually punched it out in our 1-inch circle punch. We do not have a 1-inch circle punch anymore, so if you have yours, great, pull it out. Otherwise, what you could do is you could do the smallest circle here. It is a little bit bigger, but that would not matter in your layering circles. Or maybe you even have a 1-inch circle punch at home. But I just punched it out like that. And now this is Bumblebee, but we're going to use So Saffron ink. And we're going to use a So Saffron ink dauber. And I'm just going to go like this, and I'm just going to kind of dab all around it. It's just giving it that little bit of dark, and I didn't want it to be too dark. So if I would have used the Bumblebee, it would have been a little too dark. Okay, so that's all we're going to do with that. That's fun, right? I love that. All right, so let's go ahead and color this in now. This should be ready. So again, I'm going to color the whole tent in the light Bermuda Bay. And then I'm going to do the grass. And then we're going to do the dark Bermuda Bay, just kind of where it is dark already on the tent. We're just kind of highlighting that. And then we're going to take the color lifter, and we're just going to kind of go in a circle here just to kind of lift it up a little bit. All right. And now we're going to start cutting. So we're going to cut our happy trails here. There's that. And we're going to cut our tent. And there's that. All right. So now let's get out our dimensionals because we're going to need our dimensionals again. And we're not going to pop up the sun though. The sun, we are actually going to put that on flat. So we're going to put that on up in the corner here. We're going to put our tent on down below. So cute. And then we're going to put our happy trails right there. Now we are going to pop this up onto our card. So let's get our card back out. And I put dimensionals in all the corners, and then I always put one in the center. For those of you who have watched me before, you know, no saggy center. All right, so now we're going to just go ahead and we're going to put that on right in the center. There you go. How cute is that, you guys? Oh my gosh, I love this project so much. I love it so, so much. I hope you enjoyed this project. I know this video, it was a little bit longer than my usual Weekly Wednesday videos, but we did a lot of fun stuff. We did some blending, we did some daubing, we did some blending with the brushes. So cute. And don't forget, you can put any cupcake or any treats in here, but the s'more cupcakes, they're really yummy. So if you guys are interested too, this month, for the month of May, which I will grab, if you spend $50 with me before shipping and tax, at the end of the month, I will send out a Resin Heart embellishment to you for free. This is just a special gift from me. Please use this Hostess code. That way I know. If your order's over 150 though, do not use this Hostess code because you want to collect your own rewards. And maybe you even have it more where you're going to collect those additional Hostess rewards. I will still mail you this. I'll still mail you this, okay? Thank you so much for watching my video today. I will see you guys next week for our Weekly Wednesday. And next week is May 19th already. What? Crazy. Okay, you guys have a great rest of your week. Bye.